Mike Bohn here with Eddie Alvarez, who returns this week, one on TNT IV. Eddie, this is a quick turnaround for you, man. Can you recall the last time you fought this close together?
I think I can. No, I can't. No, I think this is the closest turnaround. But I believe the Bellator tournament back in the day was every 3 weeks or something to the end. So tournament style fighting we're doing here. It's where
A
I
little
thrive.
bit, yeah, a little bit tougher at this age, or what did you kind of have to do to prepare yourself for this?
No, I think it's necessary at my age. So like it's difficult to get excited about a fight or fighting or anything after 2 decades of doing it. So I think to be able to stay in it, to be dedicated to it, I feel like I'm like 20 again. You know, I never been this involved in fighting. It consumes my life, but not to this degree. I usually fight, and then I take a large amount of time off and vacation with my family and get that out of my system before I get back into a fight again. But to go back to back to back, I did that when I was young, so I feel young again, and it's not something that I like to do, that I enjoy. I like to suffer and sacrifice and then get my vacation and spend time with my family. But it's definitely necessary to be able to add to my game to improve and be the best fighter I can be, for sure. I know that.
So physically, it seems like you're ready to go. What about the mental side? And we could get into, the DQ getting overturned, which just came up this week. But you were very emotional after the last fight with everything that happened. Like, did you kind of think you might have needed some time? Like, where did you kind of get yourself together mentally to be like, okay, I have to get back in there in just a few weeks?
I think it's all practice. I think just as you practice the physical, you practice the mental part. I doubt like being in the room was difficult for me. Like being alone with just my thoughts and not being able to go outside and shop and distract myself. Being in a room by myself, quarantine wasn't. I didn't feel like that was the healthiest thing for me personally. But it was a practice. I went home. I wrote down how I was feeling. I wrote down some of the things that I did to make myself feel better. That way, when I came back, it was like it was a practice. I already feel better mentally inside the room. I feel more relaxed. I think just being here, not fighting in a year and a half, um, dealing with the whole protocol of the coronavirus, it's all new and it's all uncertain. So it brought a lot of anxiety, a lot of emotions like inside. So now that I'm used to it, I'm ready to rumble. I'm prepared, and just waiting for a guy to get in front of me.
So you mentioned going home there. How long did you actually spend at home between, returning from Singapore and then going back?
So what I fought on the 7th.
Yeah.
Fought on the 7th. I got home on the 11th. I got home on the 11th, and I left. I don't even know what date it is or day it is or what time it is right now because I'm.
Right. It's the 27th, at least here stateside.
Yeah, so I think I left. I got home. I left and got home on the 11th, and I came back here on the 24th. I think.
Wow. Okay. So you just do a few days of training and then you're ready to go back out.
Oh yeah, we got some good training in. I went home. I went home. I relaxed. My whole family was back at the house, so went home, enjoyed my Sunday, and then I believe I even ran. I might have ran Sunday night, and I was in sparring on Tuesday, ready to go again. So.
Okay. And when did you hear that the result, the DQ against Iuri Lapicus, was being overturned to a no contest?
Well, I heard about the review for the last couple of weeks, that they were reviewing it, and they were going to take a request upon me, like ask me my opinion on it. I was able to give my opinion, and they were going to take it into consideration as well as it went before panel. So I needed to wait back on the review, but they told me it'd be reviewed, a week or two ago. That it'll be up for review.
And obviously, you feel like that was the right call and everything. Was that a bit of a relief? I mean, I still think a lot of people think it should be, a TKO win for you, but do you think, given the circumstances, this is the best case scenario that ultimately could have come out of it?
Yeah, I think it's a happy medium. You know what I mean? In this situation, it was so hectic. Everything happened so fast, and it was unfortunate that I'm not going to be totally happy, and nor nobody's going to be totally happy. So we have to compromise and split it down the middle and be somewhere in between. So the no contest is good. I didn't want to take a loss on what seemingly was a TKO win, but I look at it as a TKO win for me. I'll give them a rematch if that's what they want to do, a rematch. But I look at it like I just took out the number two guy in 30 seconds, and now I get a chance at another ranked opponent.
Does the difference between the loss and the no contest, besides the L being taken off your record, do anything for you, like from a financial perspective? Does it anything like that in terms of the actual impact of it, or is it pretty much only taking the loss off your record?
Financially, no. One is always taking care of me. They've always like everything they said they were going to do, everything they promised from the beginning. It still comes to fruition today. It's not like we have a very very good working relationship. So there's nothing at all financially impacted me from that. When I show up prepared and ready to fight whoever's in front of me, and I'm taken care of. That's never an issue.
Okay, that's great. And going back to that fight, I mean, obviously it was a big night for one, the TNT debut and everything, not the way we wanted to see the fight go for you. But did you feel that that was like a bigger event for them? Did you notice the attention was higher from some of the previous fights and all of these different things? It was made to be such a big step forward for the organization. Could you feel that kind of resonating?
Yeah, even in the lead up, the production in the lead up, the trailers that were put together, we did a lot more media. We did a lot more production uh, in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks before the fight, with some like pretty high level guys. So I was excited about that, and I was excited about kind of them making their presence in America. And I sat down with Chatri, and yes, we had the DQ to start, and it wasn't the best start, but like I was just like my opinion on fighting in general is this is a volatile sport. There's super highs and super lows, and it doesn't take much to get to a super high, and vice versa. So maybe we didn't have the exact start that we wanted to have, and kick the door open in America the way we wanted to for the TNT. What was it, one or TNT two? But we're only one event away from kicking the door in. You know what I mean? You're always one event, one magical fight, one great night away from doing something that makes everyone's heads turn and tune in.
Yeah, do you feel like for you personally, I mean, the weird circumstances with Lapicus aside, like you looked really good in that fight and you were dominating, and then there's the weird end. Do you feel like you have momentum at least behind you from like a performance perspective? You had the long layoff, you came in, you dominated, the weird ending aside, but do you feel like you're keeping the ball rolling here to a degree?
Yeah, I feel like, and I even feel like American fans are behind me. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough for them to get behind you when you're actually fighting an American, um, when you're fighting in American promotions because there's so many other guys, there's so many other events, and they have them so often. So we kind of own our own event here, own our own night with one championship, and I'm the American out here representing America, and going against the best guys in the world here. And the fans are behind me, and I can feel it. I can feel the support, and it makes me want to fight. If it wasn't for the fans rallying the way they did after my last fight, I probably I probably wouldn't have came back here. You know what I mean? The fan support and everybody yelling and screaming and getting behind me, and giving me confidence and inspiring me to kind of hey, he looked really good, looked the best he ever did. That kind of stuff really is just like, man, I'm 2 decades in, and I really want to take advantage of being in shape and add to this, and that just got me on fire to go ahead and go back home, add to it, and get back here and compete again.
Nice. So, what do you think of the opponent here, Rae Yoon Ok? Do you think what do you make of just his skill set and the challenges he could bring you in this fight?
So yeah, he's like he's a longer Korean. I think Korean, like maybe boxing background, longer guy. Which is they're always difficult to deal with, no matter what their skill set is. Just longer opponents have always been like a difficulty of mine. So just being in good shape, putting on good pressure. He has a very good jab, very good leg kick, and he's going to use that. I feel like he's going to try to overuse that a bunch, and but he has holes in his game, and we're going to look to exploit them. But I feel like if we get into a dogfight, he's a guy that will stay in there. He'll stick his nose in there, and he'll throw punches. And if he's willing to do that, I feel like we can score a knockout here.
That'd be great. And then, do you think this is the one that sets up the title fight with here with a win?
Yeah, I don't feel like I need any other fights to prove myself. I feel like going out and putting a stamp at the end of TNT, at the end of this season, putting a stamp on this, doing something big and getting a big win at the end of this. I think I earned my shot. I came back. I wanted to put on a show for the fans and make sure we end at TNT IV with a bang. And I'll do that. I'll make sure I have an obligation to do that. I'll do that, and then I'll get my title shot.
Safe to say that you'll want a little break, though. I mean, I'm sure the back-to-back camps and everything, we want like a couple months at least to prepare for that and have some time to be fully ready, do a full training camp, all that kind of stuff.
No, I don't care. Yeah, I want to go home and spend some time with my wife and kids for sure, and let them enjoy the fruits of our labor, and us all enjoy it together. But this year is going to be about dominating the competition, staying in the gym, getting better, improving, and dominating the competition.
Were you impressed by Christian Lee's win a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, yeah, he looked very good, very good hook, completely unexpected. I thought he was going to just try to bring pressure and bring a ground game to him, but he stuck his nose in there. He threw some good counter shots and ended up catching Timothy clean. So it was a good fight, really good fight.
Definitely. And
Dominant.
another, yeah, for sure. And just before I let you go, a couple last things. Just give me some thoughts on the Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira title fight for the UFC coming up here in a few weeks. Obviously, we know you have a lot of history with Chandler.
Yeah. I don't. For me, I don't feel like Mike Chandler lets this slip through his hands. I think he's looking at it as a once in a lifetime opportunity. He's a champion, through and through. And I think the style matchup with Charles is very good for him. I think he does well against these uh, longer guys who aren't as athletic. I don't think Charles is nearly as athletic as Mike is. Mike's going to be way faster than he is, and I think he'll make. And I don't think Charles can get Mike to the ground. So this will be a stand-up fight for the most part, with Mike holding them hammers in his hand, and maybe score another quick knockout against another top level opponent. I think with this matchup, he won't let it slip. I doubt it.
Yeah, does that moment just feel so big? I mean, obviously you can relate being the Bellator guy, former champion there, coming over and getting that UFC title shot that maybe someone never expected would come in your career ultimately with the jump over. And it's hard to let that moment, as you said, slip through your fingers. You're probably more ready for that than anything in your life.
Yeah, you just don't lose. I mean, I've been in that situation with Dos Anjos, and I think even with Dos Anjos, I was a 3-1 underdog. It was like I was a lamb to slaughter. At the time he was murdering everyone. So, but in my mind, I just wasn't going to lose. I wasn't going to let that opportunity by. And I was going, like, I dreamed about it. I thought about it. And it was everything that I've talked about for a long period of my life. So I think Mike's the same way. He's been getting badgered about how he can never be champion. Um, Talked down to by fans about how he's in a B league and he'll never be champion in A league, and that kind of stuff puts a chip on your shoulder, and I think he'll take advantage of it.
Do you kind of have that same chip on your shoulder there with one? I mean, there was obviously the debut stumble and then the long layoff and where you're at now and everything. Like when that moment comes and you do fight Christian for that title, is that going to be just as significant for you, especially him being the young kid and just all these storylines that are going to ultimately go into that fight between you guys?
Yeah, well, with him maybe, yeah, because I mean, he says my name, and when when you're the champion and you win, and you call someone out, it's like, okay, that's going to be the next fight, right? For me, I'm like, okay, well then we'll fight for the title, and then it never happens, and then never happens, and never happens. But he keeps saying my name, keeps saying he wants to fight me, but the fights never happen. So it's like, yeah, the chip's getting bigger on my shoulder, and it's like, you can run, um, but you can't hide. I'm coming. I'm gonna defeat all the competition that's in front of me. I'm gonna beat them all, and then I'm coming after you. So I mean, he has an opportunity to beat someone who actually did some great things, beat someone who's great, and if he don't fight me and he decides to run to the welterweight division or do whatever he's dreaming up, it'll be his loss, not mine.
Awesome, man. I think that's a great way to end it. Of course, you're chasing your own bits of history there by getting that one belt too. So I appreciate you taking the time, man. I think it's awesome you're making this turnaround. I'm glad they made things right, at least as much as they possibly could with the disqualification to a no contest. So hopefully, everything is kind of coming together in your mind leading into this fight.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate
All
it,
right.
and thank
Thanks.
you to all. Continue to follow me. I'm at Alvarez Fight on Instagram, and I'm pretty active on Twitter with all my fans. So shout out to me, talk to me, let me know what's going on. I'm in a room by myself, so let's chat.
For sure, man. One of the best in the game on Twitter, an enjoyable follow. So make sure everyone does that. Appreciate you, Eddie.
Thank you.